Welcome to April's Garage. I guess it's official. I can call myself a YouTuber.
You are so hot right now.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
100,000 subscribers.
Welcome.
Our channel finally hit.
Welcome.
Welcome to YouTubing. I never thought I'd say it, but yeah, I'm officially a YouTuber, and you have been a champion for this the entire time, pushing along, and of course,
A champion.
you watching at home, thank you so much.
Yes.
I just, sometimes I feel like I'll even talk fast, or I just don't feel like I'm surprised that you're watching, I guess is what I have to say, and I don't have enough confidence to be like, oh yeah, I have a show and there's a lot of subscribers. I never thought it would get to this point. And so what I'm trying to say is,
Well,
thank you.
geez.
Thank you very much.
Okay, no faith, I guess, and yeah, in this idea that I had. But no, thank you very much. And we did start out as Good Morning YouTube. Did that for a year, and thought we could talk about things other than cars, which some things we are well versed on, some things we are not. And walked into. Obviously, you wanted us to talk about cars,
Right.
so for the most part, we're still going to continue
Well, and that's
talking about cars.
what's great about YouTube is that you can reflect on the comments and kind of change how things are going. And I always say, if I'm talking to kids in high school or something like that, or what should I do when I grow up? Do something that you're good at. You are good at talking about cars, and so
Maybe Star Trek. We could talk about
We're gonna
Star
talk about
Trek a little
Star Trek
bit.
too, right.
I feel like it would be nice to go back and do another haunted house somewhere. Like the haunted
Right.
hotel tour was fun. We pull up in a car and talk about the car for 30 seconds and go and still do some traveling. That was one of the things that we wanted to do, was a bit more travel vlogging. Get a cool car, rent it, and see some sights. But your knee has been
Well, yes.
a bit of an issue over the last
tore
year.
My ACL in a ski accident. A snowboarder just completely blindsided me, hit me from behind, completely football clothesline tackled, everything torn. Got a new graft. That graft got a little messed up, so we had surgery again about 2 weeks ago. And now I'm ready to travel.
Now
Let's go.
she's footloose and fancy free. So we do have some fun stuff coming up with that as far as the Moto Miami concours that's coming up. And
I'm so excited.
The Bugatti is hopefully there, and hopefully not stolen and on its way to Mexico with some other shipper. But I hope not. I did let it go. So hopefully it shows up at the place and we can use it for the show, be with Ed Bull and all that stuff. So there'll be some fun things there. But as far as the future of April's Garage,
Yes.
I think there needs to be a build. And feel free to leave a comment on what you think that we should do as far as continue with the car reviews, what you like about the studios. Constructive criticism is fine. Just if you want to talk about how big my nose is and whatever, that kind of stuff. I can't really fix it, but I suppose I could. But
You're perfect.
anywho, I think there
Don't
needs
fix
to
a
be
thing.
an April's build.
Yes.
I think that Grand Camino sitting down there,
It needs a sexy heart.
it needs so the 305 that's in it is a little weak,
Right.
a lot weak. The AC compressor keeps locking up, and it just doesn't match the car.
Right.
And I know how you want the GNX motor.
It needs so there is a GNX that got burnt, and I don't know if the engine got burnt. It burnt on the back half, so the firewall might have saved the engine.
Firewall. It's been on Copart for pretty much the entire time we've owned this car, so 9-10 months, and it's still pending, and it won't pop up for sale. But you don't know what's on it.
Do not buy it for me, please. I mean, don't go
I
and
don't
look
know.
at it and buy it.
There might be some fraud thing or something going on where it's just stuck in limbo forever.
Right.
But that would be a lot harder to do. You'd need a complete Grand National and to swap all of it over. So you would have to kill either a rusty Grand National.
Wait, what are you talking about?
To
You want the interior.
Swap the wiring, swap
Okay.
the instruments, swap everything that makes it work, and move everything over to the car.
Right.
You'd need a whole car. You would need a whole car. Or, you do some standalone stuff. The easy thing to do, and what everybody does, is they just
Don't tell me I'll swap it.
They just LS swap it. They put a turbo on it, so it has that Grand National kind of the whirly-bird turbo
And
thing.
that is the end of April's Garage as we know it.
You can do it, and it would be cool, and it would be much more attainable goal than going to all the trouble of making this 80s technology work in something that's already kind of cobbled
You sound like
together.
a lazy old man.
It's your build.
Right?
If you want to be like Tavares in 3 years from now, making your own wiring harness and
I actually messaged him
everything
about
else.
that GNX engine back when I first saw it, 6 months ago, and I said, please convince Tyler to get this.
Because he thinks he can do anything, and he does.
He does an incredible job. It is wild to see just the whole wiring harness and him just working with it, knowing what everything is. Like, that blows my mind.
That's a lot of Adderall. But 3 years into that car. But he's had many other successes. Sorry, Tavares, but he's had, obviously the swapping over every nut and bolt from a Hellcat that had to be junked into a V6 repo thing. So he can do it.
Mm-hmm.
The 675 LT was an unbelievable wreck, and he did that. The Gallardo twin turbo. So, and he does his other builds that are a little more easy to do, like the Ute, and I know he's working on another one, a Maxima right now, the Cartrek Maxima. So, yeah, it just takes time. So sorry, Freddie, sorry. But what else would you like to do on this channel? Anything else?
I think it was fun when you had your guys come on and do kind of game show type of thing.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting. But obviously, journeys, some getting out there and doing traveling, I think would be interesting.
We're not doing any nude episodes. I know you guys have been asking for that.
Who asked for that?
No, it's in the comments.
Really? I mean, I would
They
like
want
to
me.
see.
They want me, not you.
I would like to see that.
But,
there have been a lot of comments.
There have, and we did post in our community section as far as questions to ask us for this occasion.
Right.
And there are 526.
Well,
and
we posted this a while ago.
maybe about 100 appropriate ones to answer. So and we can filter it down from there. So
Yes.
we'll go and just start scrolling through and answering some questions for y'all. But anything else? Traveling, obviously doing some more events. The April Man on the Street with a question not about
We're not allowed to say man on the street.
Well,
person on the street.
asking
human
people
on the
if
street.
you would loan them $50,000 to
Right.
so your man can buy a Bugatti.
Right.
Maybe something not involving my humiliation would be nice.
That's great. Because for months, all everyone talked about was me loaning you that money.
Right. So, as far as questions in the comment section, one asked me, how do I insure all the cars in the fleet?
Yeah.
It's very easy. It's a collector car policy through Grundy, and the cost of it is kind of $16,000, $18,000 a year for all of the cars. And a friend of mine who's young just recently bought an Aventador, didn't check the insurance, and he's paying more than that for one Aventador, like $2,000 a month. So because I'm a bit older now and seasoned, and I don't make insurance claims, if I smash something up, I just fix it myself.
But isn't there something with like antique cars where you don't have to pay as much? Like, how does that work?
It just depends because it's agreed value on things. So some of the cars are dirt cheap for the year. They're $200.
Because it's not like you're driving these daily, so the insurance understands that and gives you a lower rate then?
Right. So the only way that, because obviously I can only drive one at a time. The only way that something would happen to all the cars, a fire or a tornado, which is another question on here, I think was for you, April. Are you worried about the tornadoes? Which, as far as the building, I'm not worried about it.
Can I just tell you, when I first moved here, I assumed, because I live from Chicago, I assumed everyone had an underground bunker, like some storm cellar, trap door in
like
the
in
ground.
Twister, like where Helen Hunt's little girl went into?
In Twister. And they don't.
No.
Like, nobody has one.
Get basements.
And that doesn't compute to me because I'm like, the basement still isn't safe. Your house is going to fall in on you and crush you. And then your dad was like, well, if you're in the west corner of the basement or something like that, then it's safer. But like, I don't want to be safer. I want to be safe. So yeah, tornadoes freak me out.
I'm not worried about it. This building is supposed to be able to take up to an F2. So, because it's a steel building, the big thick steel beams, that won't stop like a 2x4 projectile from just launching through the building. But as far as the structure itself, pretty sound. I didn't do like a wooden matchstick building here. This is more of a comment than a question, but someone said, I'm afraid that the wizard is going to interrupt your wedding and wanting a bill paid.
Fantastic. I hope he does.
Where so the wizard is going to be the best man in the wedding. And I could see him before him performing his duties. But hold on. There's a bill for this. Yeah, we are hitching this summer? That's
Right.
another very common question. So that is coming.
Yes.
And doing it on the farm. Yep, pitchforks and barns and everything else. Yep, it's going to be all a barn wedding.
I'm trying to make it as classy as possible, but we're on a farm property, 5 acres of farm property. So it'll be combination car show / wedding, which is appropriate for us.
And in that vein, someone is asking, what medication are you using to keep April from coming to her senses?
I feel like you would medicate someone to not come to their senses, like give them a little alcohol or something like that and drug them that way.
The Rodney Strong works for you pretty well.
There's a wine called Rodney Strong that we do like. No, I honestly love being in Kansas. I was in Chicago forever, grew up there. The traffic, the crime, the smog, the carjacks. I was lined up for a carjack one time and evaded it because I had an anticipation that it was happening. You could feel it happening because they try to box you in, and so you don't ever, when you're at a stoplight, you don't ever pull up all the way to the back of a car. You want to leave enough room so where you can escape out. And I don't have to think about that here. I don't have to think about, I can't make it somewhere because it's 5 o'clock and that's traffic time. So Kansas
none of that in Kansas
has been great.
None of that in Kansas. So somebody asked, what would you have in your garage if you only had 2 spaces for the both of you? Is that a 2, like we each get 1 car or we each get 2 cars?
Well, you'd have your Escalade.
I'd have my Escalade.
And I'd have, this is tough because my 2 puppies are behind me, the Grand Camino and then the Grand National.
So you'd have no practical car that you could use every day.
No.
So I'd have the 300 SL and then an everyday like the Escalade.
You're only allowed to pick 1 in this garage in this question. So what I would do is I would kick out whatever you have and set it on fire and have my 2 babies
Wonderful.
right there.
And the same person also asked, what would I do when the Wizard retires? Because he's threatening to retire. And I've
yeah.
already kind of planned it out. There's 2 work lifts right here that have not been used very much yet.
Yeah.
But I think what I would do is have some kind of full-time-ish mechanic here.
Right.
Right now, it makes sense for me to still take things to the Wizard, and it's great videos and entertainment and all that stuff. But obviously, if I had my own in-house mechanic, I would save a whole lot of money.
Right.
But the Car Wizard, our relationship goes back so far. He gives me a discount on things. I know some of the bills where it looks like he's really rigging me over the coals. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not. He's taking care of me, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship because I make videos out of it. But when he retires, then yeah, I really am going to have to change my strategy for YouTube, where the Wizard presenting me with a bill and me going, oh my God, it's
Yeah.
going to be sort of like oh God, the car's way worse than what it was, and just trying to persevere and do it. I also want to try and do something myself, like a build project, and I'm talking
about the 62, right?
yeah, the 62 Corvette, and we're seeing these amazing numbers for the Resto Mods, where it's the Roadster Shop and the Art Morrison chassis, where it's getting pretty plug and play with all this stuff as far as putting on the bodies and the engines, the wiring harnesses, the clusters. They're all sort of sold in kits now, where there's not a lot of custom fabrication. There's a lot of design and imagination that goes into it with the painting and design choices and things. But as far as like having to really like custom fab whatever, like
Right.
you don't really have to do that,
doesn't
as much.
happen a lot. A lot of them,
So-
make them wider. You can kind of chop and channel things, but there's all the choices and all the aftermarket choices out there that make it really, really easy to do that. My issue or my concern with that is the last 2 things that you attempted to do with cars, you may or may not have dropped particular things and couldn't find them when you were piecing them together.
That's in a future video with the Bugatti where I did a little bit of work myself, and you'll see that in the video, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it was because my help was terrible. Which, speaking of,
Oh, so you're blaming someone else? Okay.
well, because someone asked a question, what it's like to work with 100% Jake. That was a low blow. That was a dig. He was holding the camera because he was filming it. No,
You'll see in the video, but
he-
Jake is amazing.
Wow.
You don't think so?
Yes. I'm surprised you agree with everything that you said. No, I need to start over.
What are you setting me up for?
I don't know.
Jake's gonna think I talk shit about him now, which I
He does
don't.
not. See,
I don't.
April doesn't talk crap on anybody, so that's really just, I don't even know why I said that.
I love working with Jake. Jake's amazing. Jake's more accepting than anyone on earth. Like if you have a problem, there's something wrong with you, like you have a weird tick, Jake's like, it's cool, we're gonna work with this. Like it's endless empathy and endless help and love from Jake.
And he keeps us, I feel like, grounded, and of course he's following all the stuff with us. So you have the filming, you have the editing, and he's doing a little producing with us as far as like, hear this little nugget that I heard about this and gives that contribution
Right.
to where sometimes we just regurgitate it, even though it's Jake's brain that said it. And as far as keeping the pulse of our audience and things, and Jake definitely pays attention to it.
Yeah.
Not that we're reading the comments as well, but yes, he wears a lot of hats and also keeps the batteries charged up and errands and like. I ask a lot of
You do.
100% Jock.
I don't think
I crack the whip a little hard sometimes.
He's not
Sorry.
replaceable. I feel like
No.
a car guy that can edit multiple cameras and do everything
No.
that he doesn't exist.
No, and now he's going to ask for a massive raise, and I'm going to be totally
And
out.
he should.
What are you doing? Stop it.
Next question.
Will April ever drive Tyler's supercars?
I am so I don't even like driving regular cars when you're next to me because you're very turn here, no turn here, careful this, careful that. Like you're a very backseat driver. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Is he like that with you, Jake? Do you ever drive Tyler around and he's pointing out things, telling you it's just me? Tyler's one of those guys.
Well, there's just one time where I told you to turn around and you decided to drive down a dirt road to turn around in a clean car, and I said something and you took it personally.
He was so mad.
But it was just you pull in, you turn around, come out, she'll pull down the dirt road, and it's just in a black car. I'm just like,
Okay, fine. It's easier.
She doesn't know the directions of things, so I have to tell her to turn left and right sometimes. And there's the occasional blonde moments that I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to help.
Stop it.
I'm sorry.
A lot of blonde moments.
I'm not that much, honestly.
I'm okay. It's not natural blonde, so that's fine.
Another one's asking me, how long will it take me to get rid of my debt? And I was so